Have you ever looked at an ancient manuscript and just wondered what secrets it holds? Well, today, we're putting on our linguistic detective hats. We're going to explore how to read and really understand a single, super complex page from history and unlock the wisdom that's hidden right there in plain sight.
Okay, take a look at this. It's a page from a classical Sanskrit manuscript. It's absolutely beautiful, right? So intricate. But for most of us, it's also a complete mystery. I mean, it looks less like a book and more like an artifact, a silent messenger from a really, really distant past.
So that begs the question, what does it actually take to unlock the meaning of just one single line on a page like this? We're going to treat this like a puzzle, a detective story that we can solve together, piece by piece. First things first, we've got to understand what we're looking at. This isn't just a static block of text. It's actually a dynamic conversation, basically frozen in time. You've got a core verse at its heart, and then all around it are these layers of commentary, written by scholars, sometimes centuries later.
Now, to keep this from getting overwhelming, we're not going to try to decode the whole page at once. Nope. We're going to zoom way in on just one of its most famous and important verses. Let's isolate our first piece of evidence. All right, so our first job here is to crack this verse open. We're going to break it down into its fundamental clues, the individual words, and see what they start to tell us. And here it is in the original Sanskrit. This is the code we need to crack. Now, I know it might look a little intimidating, but the key, like any good puzzle, is just knowing where to begin. So, our starting point is this word right here, savituha. This is our first major clue, our way into understanding the verse's meaning. So, Savitri refers to a divine solar being, but it's so much more than just the sun. Philosophically, it represents the ultimate source, the creator, the force that kind of impels or sets the entire universe into motion. So our very first clue is pointing to something huge, cosmic creation. Okay, let's add the next piece to our puzzle, the word Varanium. This word describes a specific quality of that divine being we just met.
Varanyam means something like the most excellent or most choice-worthy. It tells us that this divine creator, this Savitra, isn't just some random force, but it's a force that's worthy of our highest reverence and worship. See? The picture is already getting clearer. And now we get to the very heart of the verse's imagery, this phrase, Bhargo Devasya. This is the core concept that the verse is asking us to focus on. This literally translates to the splendor or the radiance of the god. It's such a powerful, almost visual idea, right? We're not just thinking about a creator anymore. We're thinking about its brilliant divine light. And that is the object of our meditation. So we have a divine creator and its excellent radiance. But what are we supposed to do with all that? Well, that brings us to the final key word, the verb of the sentence, dhimahi. Dhimahi means we meditate upon. This is the action. It's an active engagement. The verse is basically a call to contemplate, to focus our minds on that divine splendor. And just like that, all the pieces are starting to come together. But, cracking the words is really only level 1. Remember all that smaller text on the page? That's the commentary. You can think of it as an ancient scholar's guidebook, written specifically to help us unlock even deeper layers of meaning. Now check out how the commentary just completely enriches the original. The verse simply says radiance, but the commentator comes in and explains that this isn't just any light. It's a divine radiance that actively destroys sins and spiritual ignorance. Wow, that adds a powerful new dimension to our understanding, doesn't it? Okay, so we've broken down the verse. We've consulted our scholar's guidebook. Now, it's time to put all the clues together and see the full picture. We can finally translate this line with some real confidence. And here it is. We meditate on the most excellent radiance of that divine creator. May he inspire our minds. It's elegant, it's profound, and now we know exactly how each piece of that meaning was built. That is our aha moment right there. But this whole exercise isn't just about translating one verse. The process we just walked through, it actually reveals something much, much bigger about how knowledge itself is built and shared over time. Think about it. We followed a clear method. We isolated the text, we defined the key terms, we consulted the commentary, and then finally, we synthesized the meaning. This isn't just guesswork.
It's a repeatable intellectual process for unlocking wisdom. This tradition, this whole dance between a core text and its commentary, is precisely how knowledge was kept alive. It's how it was debated, refined, and passed down from teacher to student for thousands of years. Every single page like this one is another link in that incredible, unbroken chain. So we just unpacked all these layers of meaning from just a single line. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If one line can hold this much depth, what other profound secrets, what other incredible conversations are just waiting to be decoded in the countless ancient pages scattered all across the globe?